Now, it's Hanumasana. Hanumasana is the monkey god. And so named after, well, I'll send you the link to the little story about Hanumasana. So from yogic philosophy, he was a big friend of Rama, King Rama, and he rescued Rama's wife Sita by extending his legs from South India to Sri Lanka and using his body as a bridge so that she could escape, and also Rama's brother. So it's dedicated to him. He didn't invent the pose, but it's dedicated to him. And if you look at pictures of him, he's got this huge extension of his legs from one end to the other. So that's where the pose is named after. So we're going to have a little play with this today. So if you've got hamstring problems, sorry, but you might not be able to stretch as far as everyone else, and you do have to be very, very careful with this for hamstring people. And any pull at all on that insertion point right at the top where you feel it feels like it's going to snap, that is your hamstring saying, I'm going to snap. So you stop at that point, and I'll show you lots of techniques, well, within the time that we've got to stop that. So we'll just start though by sitting in this pose, composing ourselves. You can tell I get very excited about this pose, so I've got to calm down as well. And this is one of the counter poses actually, because it relaxes the hamstrings, swastikasana. And if you can't sit in this cross legs, sit on a chair or sit on lots of height. Just bring your palms together in front of your chest and close the eyes. And visualize yourself inside, growing taller, away from your pelvis. So the point between the tailbone and the crown of the head is as far away as possible. And keep the back of the skull in line with the tailbone so you're not tipping the head forwards, which we tend to do in this modern life of screens. So draw back a little bit into the back of your body. I'm going to chant 3 Om sounds. If you want to join, please do. So I take a deep breath in. Maintaining that lift in the chest, bow the head towards the heart. Release your hands down and raise the head up. Okay, and then extend out your legs. So what we'll do first is we'll lie down. If you need a blanket under the head, take it. Roll the spine down and just bend your knees and bend both knees onto your chest. And hold around either the front or the back, depending on whether you've got knee problems or not, the back of the right knee. And extend your left leg away. And be quite, how can I say this? Be quite demonstrative with the extension of that left leg. So push your heel away and draw the right knee as close towards you as you can, because we're stretching here the groins between the legs. Because Hanumasana, the front splits pose, it's not just about hamstrings, it's also about groins as well. And it's actually a very, very good pose for sciatica, but we have to do a lot to get there. So bend the knees again, and then stretch the other leg away, right leg away. Just notice the difference between the 2 groins, so the right and the left. Try and get the back of the right leg towards the floor, and bring that left knee as close towards you as you can. Keep the left foot quite relaxed actually, but stretch the right heel strongly away. That's it. And then we'll just repeat that once more. Right knee towards the chest, stretch the left leg away. That's it. Really extend that left heel as if you want to push the wall over with your left heel. But don't actually have the foot at the wall because you want to be able to keep extending. And then change again. Right leg away, left knee towards you. And this is also a really good pose for the lower back. Very good healing pose for the lower back. Okay, and then release and roll to your side and come up. And we're going to do now Uttanasana, the forward fold. So if you take your feet quite wide, don't worry about blocks at the moment because you can use your hands on your legs and just stretch your arms up as high as you can. So I've got my feet just a little bit wider than my hips, okay? And then take the arms out to the sides, come forwards and down, and either put the hands on the floor or put your hands on your shins or blocks. But actually don't worry about too much about the blocks. Now, just keep your legs straight. So pull up your kneecaps, pull up your thighs, and take the hands around the backs of the legs, yeah. And pull the backs of the legs, so or push, I should say. So it's if you're trying to bring the hands forwards, but the legs are in the way. So push the hands forwards and bring your body closer in towards your legs. Release the back of the neck down. Try not to bend the knees. Keep the backs of the knees open. The quadriceps have to contract up. And you're trying to create broadness across the buttock bones. Okay, and then raise the chin, look forwards, and come all the way up and stand up. That's it. And stretch your arms down. Stand in Tadasana. Still feel like you're picking the quadricep muscles up. All right. I'm going to turn my back to you for a minute. You might not be able to, hopefully the camera will stay focused. But the back of the thigh here, that's the gluteal crease right at the top, under the buttock. Feel as if that broadens from inside out, like your bottom is smiling, like that. So you've got, this is the back inner groin, and you're rolling that area from inside out. Visualize that when you're doing your forward fold again, the spread of the backs of the legs. Okay, so let's bring the feet a bit closer, okay, about hip width, but maybe a little bit narrower than hip width. This time, put your hands on your front hip bones and fold down, but keep your legs very sharply lifted. Don't bend your knees. Don't bend your knees. So lift the thighs up and then broaden the backs of the thighs. Broaden the backs of the thighs from inside out. See if you can hold your heel bones or the back of your calf. And again, bringing the thumbs round with the fingers, bend the elbows and draw the head down. Take a couple of breaths there. That's it. Yes, good, well done. And then look forward, so straighten the arms, look forwards. Inhale, as you exhale, come all the way up and stand up. Stretch the arms down. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll take a belt. Has everyone got a belt? Or something? Yes, it's just to hold on to the foot, because we're going to put the foot up on the wall or on a ledge. So I'm using the wall here. If you're using a ledge, just have the heel bone on the ledge, not the Achilles. And we're going to start from Tadasana, so feet are together. You bend your right leg and hook the belt under the foot, and then take that leg up onto the wall. Now, it doesn't have to go as high as my leg, might only be here, but trying as much as you can just to get the heel on the wall. All right, so a bit of a challenge there to stretch that calf. And then hold the belt firmly and arms straight, arms straight. That's it. Lift the spine up, lift the front chest. But more importantly, press the top of the left thigh back, the standing leg thigh. Make that super straight. Dinty, I think your dog is doing the same pose. It's got one leg off the floor. That is really funny. I think you're doing it better, I have to say. Yes, for once you're doing it a better pose than the dog did. All right. Usually they come in and do their dog pose, don't they, and shame us. All right, so let's do the other side. Bring that leg down. And then take the other leg up. Heel bone on the wall, if possible, if possible. It's quite difficult for that stretch of the calf and the back of the knee ligament, but see if you can get the heel bone on the wall. Press the top of your right thigh back as much as you can and lift your sternum bone up, chest up. Yes, that's it. Well done. Good. All right, and then come down and repeat once more. And this time we're going to go forward. So we're going to increase that extension on the back of the leg. So you've got your right leg up And now you're going to walk your hands forwards towards your foot as close as you can. If you can hold the foot, fine. If you wanted to keep hold of the belt, you can. If you can go forwards and catch your shin, you can. But obviously now we're trying to stimulate the back of that right leg to stretch a little bit more deeply. And the weight of your body, it's not to get your head on your shin, it's really to use the weight of your body to open the back of that right leg. But also feel that the left thigh is still resisting back, so the left groin is opening. That's it. And then come up and release and do the last side. So left leg is up. I'm a bit wobbly on this side. Left leg is up. And then you stand up tall first and then go forwards, extend your trunk forwards. And as you do that, watch that your right leg doesn't bend. It'll try and come with you, so keep the back of the right leg open. If you can bend the elbows and go even further forwards over that left leg. Watch the hamstrings, so stretch the calf, back of the knee, groins, not just the poor old hamstring. Okay, and then come up and release. You can drop your belt down, don't need that anymore. Just stand in Tadasana for a moment. It's good to sort of recalibrate. And stand up straight and stretch the arms up and feel you're stretching from the base of your heels all the way up to the fingertips. Keep the hands apart so that you can stretch them straight. That's it. Lift your elbows, lift your wrists, keep your chin up. Yes, so that you're not looking down at your screen. Good, and then bring the arms down. All right, so ideally, I'd like you to have something like that. So 2 foam blocks and a brick. But if you haven't got any blocks, don't worry. Okay, you can just do this without the blocks. It's just nicer with the blocks. Okay, if you've got just 1 brick or just 1 block, stick that against the wall. So whatever you've got, put everything against the wall lengthwise. Oh, sorry, I should have said, make sure your mat's right up against the wall and put that lengthwise against the wall. This is my method. I'm going to go back a bit actually because I don't think you can see me. This is my method for really getting into the groin stretch. I'm going to come out a little bit with the camera because I think I need a bit more. Yeah, there we are. Right. So I've got this right up against the wall. I'm going to put my right foot on top of that brick. So if you don't have anything, just put your foot on the floor. But this will be nicer, so go out and buy some. get some blocks. And then we're going to step the left leg back. Now my left heel is not down on the floor. It's slightly turned so that the toes face directly forwards. And my right foot is, if I was to stand in this pose Tadasana, it would be like that, or even like that. So don't have your foot, 1 foot behind the other. Make sure that your left foot is slightly to the left, and then put your hands on the wall. Yes, hands on the wall. So that left heel is up, and I want you to lift it up a little bit higher so that you feel the hamstring, the gluteal crease lift up into the buttock. Top of the left thigh is back. Now walk your hands as high up the wall as you can. Press down the big toe mound and the inner heel onto your blocks or onto the floor. That's it. Don't let your left hip, right hip drop. Keep the hips as level as you can and keep stretching your body towards the wall. That's it. Keeping that length on your front body, very slowly try and extend the heel of the left foot down towards the floor, but don't worry if it doesn't touch the floor. Yes. Good, and then release and change. Now try to step your right leg back where the left foot, in line with the left foot, and then step the left leg forwards. Then you'll have the same distance. That's it. But make sure you don't cross the feet. And then keep the right heel quite high. Walk the hands up the wall. Walk the hands up the wall. That's it. Lengthen the sides of your body. Press down the big toe mound, inner heel of the left foot. And then stretch the right heel back and down towards the floor. Get as long a distance between the legs as you can by stretching them, not by moving the feet wider, although the feet are quite wide in this. Okay, and then come up. Now, the second time we do it, instead of putting the toes down on the front foot, we're going to put the heel down and try. Can you see the sole of my right foot is pressing into the wall? My toes are vertically up. Welcome to the back of your right knee. Welcome to your calf. And again, you're going to stretch that left heel back. Now, this time, instead of going up the wall, keep the hands in line with your shoulders and bend your elbows and try and put your forearms on the wall. And then you're getting a really nice stretch in the back of that calf. It is a nice stretch. It is not a horrible stretch. It is a nice stretch in the back of that calf. I'm saying that to myself so that I don't grit my teeth. And lift your quadricep muscle up very sharply. Then come up and change. Right leg back, left leg forwards. So extend that left heel away. Keep the right heel lifted, but the left foot as much as you can flat to the wall, and then bend the elbows, forearms towards the wall. Stretch the back of the right leg into the heel. That's it. Don't bend the leg. Yes. And then come up and release. And then once again, just stand in Tadasana. Just stand in Tadasana. Now I said don't bend the leg because in that pose we're trying to create some action mostly in the lower leg. Now we're going to create some action in the upper leg by bending the leg. All right. So this is warrior pose 1, but with the foot elevated again. So now look, you're going to bend your right leg. Now it might look like, well, that's going to be easier. But you remember when we bent the leg at the beginning, it's about the groins now and the very top of the leg. So keep your fingertips on the wall and bend your right leg. You can still keep that heel bone up on the back leg, but try and get your right buttock as low to the floor as you can. Lean back a bit there, Jinty. Yeah, and can you walk your left foot further back still? Yeah, and now really tuck the tailbone forwards. Imagine that someone's behind you with a little stick. Okay, so if I had a stick like this and I'm behind you and it's going into your tailbone, just gently, I'm not hitting you, but it's just moving that tailbone area forwards as you bend that leg. Stay upright as you can with your trunk. That's it. Good, and then come up and release. And last side. So left foot forwards, right leg back, fingertips on the wall. Bend your left leg, bend your left leg. Keep the back of the right leg really strong. Lift your chest and move your tailbone forwards. Move your tailbone forwards, not your chest forwards. Tailbone, arms should be straight. Arms are actually straight here. Yes, bend the leg more. That's it. Move that tailbone towards the wall and lift your pubic bone up. And then you'll feel it in your groins and not in your lower back. Great. All right. And then come up and stand up. So one final thing we're going to do before we get to the meat of the class, and that is Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, which means one leg, downward facing dog pose. So your dog will be good at this, isn't he? Well, the feet were going to be against the wall. We're doing our dog pose. And we're going to take that leg up, one leg up like that. And you're moving your trunk towards your leg to get the stretch. Okay, so let's see. Take the dog pose with the feet against the wall. So go down, put your feet together against the wall. That's it. And then take your right leg and stretch it up the wall, but don't worry about straightening it straight away. Just get into position. Take the right leg up. That's it. Keep the left heel up the wall. You don't have to put the heel on the floor, by the way, but you can. It's a bigger stretch in the calf. Now try and stretch the right leg by extending from the inner groin to the inner heel, not by just opening the back of the knee. Stretch the leg up, toes tucked. And at the same time, keep your body moving towards your left leg. Don't let the body come forwards. So I want to try and see if you can get your shoulder blades to move deeper towards the left leg. That's it. Relax the back of your neck. Yeah, well done. And then bring that leg down. And then, so when you start off in your dog, you've got your feet together, move your trunk towards your legs more. And now when you take the other leg up, which leg is it up now? Is it the right leg? When you take the other leg up, don't let your trunk come forwards. Try and keep your trunk moving towards the leg, towards the wall. So it's quite hard in the shoulders, this one, but it is a good stretch to the legs. Yes, I can see lots of lovely legs going up. All right, and then come down, release, and now have a look. Have a look. So we're going to start looking at how are we going to get into this Hanumasana split. Right, I'm taking away my mat. I'm going to fold my mat and put it near the wall, like that. And I'm going to put a blanket down on the floor because I want a slidey surface. You might not need a blanket, you might have a carpet, okay? And then I want something for my hands. So I've got blocks either side of the blanket. And I want something for my hamstring. So it could be a brick, or if you're very stiff, you could get a bolster, big cushion or something like that. And I'll show you what it looks like, and then you can say, oh yeah, okay, I know what I need. So we go in two different ways. First by stretching the back leg, and second by stretching the other leg. We turn around, but let me show you the first way first. I'm going to take my right foot forwards. My left foot is pointing straight back at the wall. It's pointed, and the knee is on a pad so that I don't suffer in the knee. And then I'm going to take a support for my hands, like that, and I push my heel and slide. Now I'm in control because I've got my hands down on the floor, so I only go as far as I can manage. So if I can only go to here, that's where I stay, and I work on trying to straighten my leg. If I can go further, I go further, but what I don't do is twist my hips. So I get to about here and I think, right, that's my limit today. I'm going to shove something under this gluteal crease. Remember the gluteal crease that I showed earlier? Under the top of the hamstring where it inserts. That's the vulnerable point. And that block is there so that I'm not putting any pressure on it. And I sit upright if possible. You can also go forwards in this, but try and sit upright. Okay, so that's what we'll do first. I'm going to watch the screen for a bit for those of you that are here live, just to see if I can help. If you can bring the screen down so I can see you, that would be great. So get yourself set up and kneel down on the floor with your toes touching the wall, feet going straight back. And then bring your right leg forwards so that you're on the heel, and the leg is, it can be bent, but it can also be straight. Okay. And then put your hands down so you've got stability, and start to slide your right leg away, and only go as far as you can manage. As you start to slide that leg away, the body will become more upright. That's it. And then once you get so far, don't try and go all the way to the floor straight away. Put something underneath your right gluteal crease so that you can stay there without, and it's better if it's a hard object, not a cushion actually. Bolster's okay because it's quite solid, but a brick is even better because if the hamstring is vulnerable, what the brick does, and you put it side by side like that, it pushes the fibre in, so it stops it from coming out. Yes. Okay, and then to come out of that, because some people think, how on earth am I going to come out? You just have to drag your heel back in and come back out, and then do the other side. Okay, so let's do the other side. So right heel forwards, put your hands down so you've got that stability. Left foot forwards, right heel is back. Start to push that blanket away. And you might find one side is easier than the other. This is definitely my more flexible side. That's it. Lift yourself up nicely. Roll your shoulders back. Push into your hands to lift your chest as much as you can. And then to come out, pull that blanket, pull that left heel back. Come up and just sit on your heels for a moment so that your hamstrings get a nice rest. Okay, so I'd said that there's two ways. I mean, there's many, many ways. I could show you complicated ways with chairs and all kinds of ways to do this, but we've got limited time. The other way, some people find this easier, and I do. I get lower down this way. The other way is to bring the back leg back. So now what you do is you put your front leg forwards against the wall. There will be a slight bend in it. My left knee is on the blanket because this is now my back leg. And I'm going to extend my back leg back. So I go much more quickly, so you have to be careful not to go too quickly. And I'm lower to the floor. I'm almost on the floor now. Okay, so try that way, and you might find that you prefer that way. Just watch that you don't lean onto one side and do a crooked pose. Keep your front hip bones facing forwards. Better to have a bit of a lift than to do a crooked pose. Okay, so start with your right foot to the wall. So the right heel is against the wall. Yes, and then slide your left knee back. Watch out on that carpet that you don't get a rash on your knee. That's why a blanket's quite useful. Yes, and then slide your left leg back. And you might find, hey, I'm getting lower this way. And then lift your chest up. Dig that tailbone forwards. Well done. And then slide your left knee back to come out. Last side. Right foot forwards. If you start off with the, left foot forwards. If you start off with that leg bent, then when it comes to taking the other leg back, you'll have a better action. Oh, sorry, what did I say? No, if you start off with your left leg straight, that's what I meant. Sorry about that. And then slide back with the right knee. Keep yourself sitting upright. Move the tailbone forwards. Descend the root of the left groin. And of course, we're meant to let go and put our palms together in front of our chest. But that's all work in progress. Use your hands on the floor if you have it. Or, yes, actually use the hands beside you on the wall as well. That's a good idea. Good, well done. And then to come up, bring that knee in. Bring your knees together. Sit back on your heels. And that will rest the hamstrings. Okay, so as a counter pose to all of that hamstring work, one of the best things to do is swastikasana. Okay, so if you cross your shins like we did right at the beginning of the class, and then just take the arms up and turn to your right side. Bring your left hand across your right thigh, right hand behind you, and turn. And then come back to the front, raise the arms up. Inhale, exhale, turn to the left side. So all the muscles of the back are getting a nice rotation, and the hamstrings in the meantime are relaxing. Come back to the center and change the cross of the legs. And once again, raise those arms up from the side. Really stretch up. Inhale, exhale, turn to the right. Take the back of the left hand onto the right thigh so that you stretch, you keep the left arm straight and it stretches all the nerves. Stretch into the fingers. Use the whole arm, not just the arm itself, but the fingers, the fingernails. Lift your chin and chest. And then back to the center, raise the arms up. Deep breath in, exhale, come to the left. And again, extend the whole of that right arm all the way down into the fingernails and look over your left shoulder. and then come back to the center. Okay, so finally, if you have a chair, this is nice to do. If you don't have a chair handy, just take something for the backs of the knees. And I'm just going to do this on the floor. This is so that the legs really rest. And what I like to do with this as well, I've got my legs on the chair. I'm supporting the whole of the calf muscle. Legs are dropping down into the pelvis. And it's really nice to have a bit of weight on the abdomen, if you've got anything. If you don't, it doesn't matter. And then relax your arms quite wide to the sides, not too narrow. And then just let all of that effort drain away from the legs into the pelvis, into the floor. Take a few deep inhalations, exhalations. And especially with the exhalation, relax the lower back. Relax the hamstrings. Relax all the muscles of your face and allow the mouth, the tongue, the throat to be soft so the breath can flow smoothly through the nose and quieten all your senses. When the mind gets distracted, bring it back to the breath. All right, and then you can gently bring your hands onto your belly and take a couple of deeper breaths. And when you're ready to move, bend your knees towards you and roll to your side and come up from the side. And that's all for today. So thank you very much for coming. Let me know any questions and I'll send the recording as well in case you want to do it again. See you next time. Thank you. Bye now.